Hello everyone, good evening, good afternoon I should say, and welcome to Roma Theory. Roma 1, Fiorentina 0, unbeaten in 19 games, unbeaten in 2025. The unthinkable, the impossible, that man sitting on our bench is completing with us. Whatever he gets. Now that we've beaten Fiorentina as well, we're in a position where the Champions League feels so close, but yet so far away. And I guess that is going to be the recurring theme of the Champions League in these next 3 remaining games, because we're same points as Juventus. We're fourth. We're fourth. We've got the same exact points as Juventus. They are only before us, ahead of us, because of a +2 goal difference. So we're there. And you can't avoid the fact that we're there, because we are there. You know, when Ranieri says, I wouldn't bet €1 on us making the Champions League, he's still saying these things and you're like, okay, he's being superstitious. I agree with him. But at the same time, even if it's not gonna happen, I'm like, it's impossible not to look at it, because it's there, it's in our hands. Now, of course, it doesn't fully depend on us. It depends on, it depends on Juventus, who've got the easier calendar, who are playing Lazio next weekend. It depends on us, because we've got 3 remaining games, which I think are very complicated, especially the next one on Monday against Atalanta away. It's kind of, we're living in this dimension, I feel, where it's very close, but I just feel it's so far away, in a sense that, you know what I mean? In a sense that it doesn't only depend on us. You know, we can win the next 3 games, but if Juventus win the next 3 games, then we'd still not make it. So I reckon, because of course, everybody here will probably ask me, what do you think the chances of us playing the Champions League next season are? They're definitely higher than what they were last week. I can't hide that. I still think Juventus are the favourites because of the easier calendar, and I'm not going to hide that. But we're a better team than Juventus right now. We play more confidently than Juventus right now. And we're there. That ignoring the fact that we're so close to it, could potentially be a mistake. You know, yes, let's be superstitious. Let's not talk about it. Whatever happens, happens. It's a miracle itself, yes. But how do you not talk about it when we're same points as Juventus, tied at 63 points? So, look, I've got so much to say. I don't want to keep it too long, because I just realized this is probably the worst t-shirt I could have picked to go on a Roma live stream on. But I am going to go play tennis in a bit, so don't mind the blue kit. And look, I'm going to keep it on for a bit. I've got a lot of things to say about yesterday's game. I want to give my little comment on the Bove moment, which that moment was heartwarming. It's so sad to see Edo Bove like this, because it's just, I think the tears, those tears yesterday were the tears of someone who came back in his home ground, the stadium, the team and the fans, which kind of made him achieve his dream of being a little kid, but knowing that all of a sudden he could potentially, give up his dream in that stadium. So yeah, it was a very, very, very delicate moment. It was a very sad moment, but I wish him all the best. Whatever he'll be able to do. I'm not sure if he'll be able to play football again, but whatever he will choose to do in terms of projects and stuff, I wish him all the best, and I think everybody here needs to wish him all the best, because it is heartbreaking to see him like that. But let's speak about the game. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Look at that. I had a fight with a tiger today. Look at my eye. Where is it? Absolutely painful. Yeah, I had a 1v1 against the Tiger here. No, look, jokes aside, yesterday's game was a very tight game. I have to be honest with you, I didn't expect Fiorentina to play like they played yesterday. I think Fiorentina played a great game. I think with any other team, Fiorentina would have scored yesterday. But we've got a I don't even have to not repeat myself every time. I have lost words of how to describe Svilar. Svilar is something unreal. He is something out of this world. Svilar is our Lamine Yamal, and I will keep him very close to my chest because that man is something unbelievable. He is phenomenal. It's been a very, very, very long while that I don't see a more prolific goalkeeper than Miles Svilar. And I say this as a Roma fan who enjoys Svilar's performances week in and week out. But I would say this even as an outsider. Svilar is something incredible. He is something incredible. He is easily top 5, if not top 3 goalkeepers in the world. And I am not even exaggerating. He is unreal. The amount of clean sheets that he's kept this season, the defensive solidity that we've improved. We have like 9 clean sheets out of our last 10 games. Mancini has improved so much. And I think putting Mancini from, playing with a 3-man defense, with Mancini playing here and Mancini playing here, is completely different. I think Mancini playing as a central defender has made him improve so much. Ndika, unbelievable form. It's just such a good moment to see this team play. Result-wise, non-result-wise, I couldn't give a shit. I'll say it again. I will say it every time we win a game 1-0. If I had the power to make us win every single game of the season 1-0, I would do it. I'm not in for the show. I'm in for the efficiency. I am here for the efficiency of grinding results. And, this is all I've ever wanted. Us to be on a consistent run. Maybe not this consistent, because I would have never bet on us to be unbeaten in 19 games in the league. It's something incredible. Such a good moment. Such confidence amongst these players as well, helping each other out. One player is missing, the others fight for that absency. It's a system which is now all of a sudden working very well together. The midfield with Kone, Gournadoit yesterday got subbed in very, very well. Intensity shift, very good player. Again, I've already seen a lot of people go sign Gournadoit permanently. From what I have seen, I like the guy. But he has played far too little for us to all of a sudden spend, 18 million on him. He's a very promising talent. He played great yesterday. He has fun, intensity, shift. He's that physical beast that you need in your midfield. But, we've spent a lot of irrational money in our short past. I would be careful moving forward in terms of where you want to spend the money. I would take him if Salzburg agree to lower the release clause because 18 million is a lot. 18 million is a lot for somebody who effectively has played just a few games from January till now. I like him. I would keep him. But before just throwing the cash in, I would at least try to negotiate to lower the 18 million. 18 million is a lot. 18 million is a lot of money if you're Roma. It is. And the last thing you want to do is repeat the mistakes that you made with Lefebvre and with other players. So, look. Going back to what I was saying before, Fiorentina needs credit because Fiorentina yesterday played very, very well. they played a lot of intensity. I wasn't expecting it because I wasn't expecting, first of all, their biggest players to start yesterday, considering they've got the game of their life on Thursday against Betis at home. And I didn't expect a lot of players to play 90 minutes, considering this. I didn't expect Moise Kean to play a full 90 minutes. He's an interesting player, Ken, whatever his name is. He was very unlucky. If it wasn't for Svilar yesterday, he'd have scored 3 goals. We had a lot of we struggled to keep him. One thing that I will say is he needed a red card. I'm not sure what the purpose of a VAR is if that wasn't a red card on Ken. I'm not sure if the referee was feeling pity for him because him and Mancini had a very long-lasting duel which lasted a full 90 minutes yesterday. But how is that not a red card? Like that is literally Totti's kick to Balotelli in that famous Roma Inter. That's a clear red card. The guy literally kicked Mancini's calf because he was frustrated, and it wasn't a tactical foul. It was clearly a foul of somebody who's mad that he can't get past the defender. It's exactly the same foul Totti committed on Balotelli, kicking his calf because fucking hell, I've had enough. You fucking bitch. I'ma fucking kick your calf. You see what I mean? So yeah, and I'm not saying it influenced the game in anything, but how is that, like, in a logical world of football where everything gets checked, how is that not a red card? He definitely shouldn't have ended the game, but he played a good game. I think Fiorentina is too. They're a good team, but they're too centralized on Ken. Now you can clearly tell that he is their best man, but sometimes he's a bit too greedy. There were several occasions yesterday where Ken kind of like could have easily passed the ball around, and he wanted to do everything by himself. He's a good player. He's hit his season, as I said in the match preview. I would keep my legs on the ground before saying that he is going to be the next big man striker in the league, because I would not be surprised if this is only a one-season wonder performance from him. But yeah, he's playing well. And of course, Zaniolo yesterday didn't touch one ball. Focusing on us, I think you have to look at the defensive solidity. Man, we've improved so much. I think in order to go unbeaten in so much time, the first thing that Ranieri had to fix was the defense. I remember months ago, we used to concede the most stupid goals ever, from corner kicks, counterattacks. Our defense has improved so much, and this is ultimately what new managers, modern managers, will never be able to have. Being unbeaten like this in a competitive league and winning so many games with a 1-goal difference without conceding a goal is something that a lot of people see it as old school. But if it's efficient, I bring it in my bag. We wouldn't be here in this position, same points as Juventus, with a MIRAGE to the Champions League, if we didn't fix our defense. So, in order to have a good team, I stick. I mean, look, you've probably understood me. You probably understood who I want next season as football manager. If you're new here, by these arguments that I'm making, you will understand. I want Massimiliano Allegri because I belong to maybe a minority, but I certainly belong to the groups of people who couldn't care less about how we played, but as long as the results come in, that's why I am a big Jose Mourinho lover. That's why I want Allegri to sit on our bench next season. Maybe it's a minority. I'm sure there are going to be other people who, other people who go defensive performance, winning games 1-0, or, conceding 3 goals per game, scoring other 2 crazy games, kind of Zeman tactics, Postecoglou style of football. there is no world where I would choose that over a solid defense. A solid defense and a solid goalkeeper are very hard to get in football, especially in modern football, and they're the base for success. It's not a surprise that managers who first of all focus on their defense rather than stupid offensive tactics win more than these tiki-taka useless managers. It's not a surprise. It's not a coincidence. So maybe I'm an old school, despite being very young. I definitely belong to the boring football but results come in rather than pragmatic crazy tactics and fluctuating results. Definitely. There is not one world where I would pick that over a consistent solid defense. Our defense is so solid. 9 clean sheets out of our last 10 games, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is impressive, is absolutely impressive. Other than that, what I can say is the Sule positioning yesterday, very good game from him in terms of sacrifice. He played as a fifth, so played very deep down, defended. So very good performance from him. A few words on Dovbyk. I think apart from the goal yesterday, Dovbyk had a stinker. I think Dovbyk definitely needs another chance. Definitely. Dovbyk definitely needs another season. I am not in by any means contradicting this. I said this already and I don't change my opinion. Dovbyk needs another full season with a full preseason in order to be fully judged. The reason I think he's so overly criticized is because people want him to be more available for the team. Part of me agrees to this. The other half of me goes, he's a striker, he needs to score goals. And in his first season in Italy, in a very tactical and defensive league like the Italian league, he's got the same goals as Lautaro Martinez and Romelu Lukaku. So that needs congratulations. Not even Dzeko had in terms of goals scored, a first season like his. So that is what I look at. He's a striker, he needs to bag it in. Yes, great season, same goals as Lautaro and Romelu Lukaku. His goals gave us 21 points this season. Yes, they are easy goals, but they are very heavy goals. But I also agree with people who say that he can give more. And in order for us to judge him, he needs another full season. Because he's got the potential of exploding, but he needs to understand, he needs to better understand tactics, movements, because yesterday he didn't stop one ball. And sometimes in games like yesterday, which are very close, one-on-ones, box to box, team fighting, goals can't come. Having a striker which can't set a play or stop a ball can be heavy for you. So, I'll give you an example on Ken yesterday. Ken and Dovbyk yesterday, two very completely different strikers. Ken is all about movements. Ken is all about long through movements. Dovbyk is more coming in, kind of a Dzeko, as I've said many times, coming in, stopping the ball, turning around. But he's not that type of striker. I think we're asking Dovbyk something that he's never done before and something that he can't do. It's like asking a shoemaker to make you a fishing rod. He doesn't have the tools to do it. How can you possibly ask a shoemaker if he can build you a fishing rod for you to go fishing the next day? It's the same thing. Dovbyk isn't that type of striker. Dovbyk is somebody who needs the ball in the box, more specifically, even better in the tiny box, and he will poach it in. He's a poacher. He's not somebody who you can rely on in terms of stopping the ball, turning around, setting the play. So I think, but again, I think this conception of Dovbyk, I need Dovbyk to stop the ball, turn around and set the play, is a conception that we have had and that we've pulled out of nowhere because all of a sudden we're comparing him with Dzeko. It's not like he's done this before. It's not like he did this in Spain. No. Dovbyk scored 27 goals with Girona, because he got assisted the ball in the box and he poached it in. So I think to properly judge him, he needs to adapt to the players, but the players also need to adapt to him. Because keeping Dovbyk to ask him to play like this in the majority of games is gonna be worthless, because he can't play like this, and this is not his style. If you kind of see what I mean. But look, I mean, I can't believe we're in this position. To end it and to sum it up, I genuinely cannot believe we're here. I cannot believe that we are fifth, same points as man. This top four race is big. I would cut Milan and Fiorentina off. Had Fiorentina won yesterday? No, but I think they lost the direct encounter. Fiorentina and Bologna still need to play together. So I do think Fiorentina are out, and I do think Milan are out of the race. Not that they were ever in it. I think it's all between Bologna, Lazio, Roma, Juventus. Easier calendar, of course, pens on Juventus' favour. Hardest calendar, we've got a tough game against Atalanta and Bergamo, but Lazio have Inter and Juventus, Bologna have Fiorentina and Milan. So calendar, definitely easier is Juventus. In the next game, I mean, people are asking if I would sign for a draw against Atalanta. I would sign for a draw against Atalanta only if Lazio and Juventus draw. Because if Lazio and Juventus draw and you draw, then everything would remain equal. Okay? If Juventus win away at Lazio, I reckon it's almost done. I mean, you'd need to win in Bergamo. I'm not saying it's impossible. Nothing is impossible with this current Roma team, but it's not easy. It's a pitch that we've always struggled in. So I would only sign for a draw if Lazio and Juventus draw. If Lazio or Juventus win, especially Juventus, then we need to win. We must. I mean, even if they draw, we must win. But in terms of conception of the draw, but the thing here is, I saw a tweet about this morning, and I was like, it's actually quite interesting. Let's say that we get to the last game week on equal points as Juventus. If we get on the last game week as equal points as Juventus, which is possible, we're currently on equal points. Juventus go away to Venezia, which unfortunately I think they are going to be mathematically relegated by then. But maybe not, and I hope not. But let's say they win, and let's say we win against Torino. Of course, they would be ahead of us because of a +2 goal difference. But let's say we get to the last game week on equal points as Juventus and goal difference comes in. A +2 goal difference is not the end of the world, because we play against Torino. Now again, maybe it's a built narrative. Maybe I'm pushing it too far. But, you know, if I'm Torino, I'd let us score a couple goals. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't even be a question. Of course, you don't make it noticeable, but it's like, I mean, Torino have got nothing to play for. They won't get Europe. They won't get relegated. They're going to get 10th. Last game week, Roma, Juventus on equal points. Goal difference counts. Juventus have got a +2 goal difference. If I'm Torino, biggest rival of Juventus, I would let Roma score as many goals as possible. So that's a factor that I'd consider. Again, it's pushing it too far, but rivalry elements are definitely to be considered. I mean, I am definitely sure that if a scenario like this happens between Roma and Lazio, we're in a position where we've got nothing to play for. We're playing against a team which is competing against Lazio in terms of goal difference. I would let them score as many goals as possible. Maybe not 10-0, because that would be very noticeable, but a good 4-1 win or a 3-0 win. Shh! Bring it home. We're in the Champions League. But that's something that interesting. We need to aim for left winger this summer. We're set on right with Dybala and Sule. Also, Zeki found his form. Says bad news. Ross, this Champions League talk is great, but realistically 5th would be such a blessing, as well as considering where we came. Oh mate, even 7th would be a blessing considering where we came from. But now that we're there, we must push for it. And now that we're there, we must give it our all best. It would be such a waste of energy to have done all of this, to now all of a sudden not give our best in these next 3 games. Monday's game is very, very, very difficult, but it's fucking vital. If we win in Bergamo as well, they might as well give us the league title. Wow. What are we doing? It's crazy. Right, guys, I'm gonna end it here. I'm gonna go play a bit of tennis. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow. We've got a lot of days to focus on the Atalanta. We're playing on a Monday night, so we can look at other games and also prepare how to tackle the game, considering other results. But yeah, hit the like, subscribe. Make sure to go watch the stadium vlog. It was a nice one. 100 likes on this video would be great, and give Svilar a new contract as soon as possible because he bloody deserves it. Talk to you soon. Simo out.